There are two factors that are decisive for the characteristic of our behavior. These are our living conditions and the development of our brain regions. As babies, we have almost no experience to look back on. We first act instinctively and essentially only have our emotions to make ourselves felt and ensure our survival. The area in the brain in charge of emotions is the amygdala. It's the first area of the brain we can use. After that, we develop the area that is in charge of movement, then the area for our 5 senses, and then the area for our language. Finally, the area that is in charge of logical thinking, planning, and social behavior is developed. According to current scientific knowledge, it takes 25 years for our brain to be fully developed, and we can use all areas. In the first 5 to 6 years, we live mainly unconsciously, as the relevant area of the brain isn't yet developed. During this time, there are always situations that we perceive as life-threatening or burdensome. However, this doesn't mean that, objectively speaking, these situations must have been life-threatening. The crucial thing is that these experiences form the foundation of our subconscious mind. All our subsequent decisions are based on these initial experiences. When we experience a situation in the early years in which we don't get what we want or need, we see our lives threatened. We react to it by suppressing our healthy, natural behavior and replacing it with strategic behavior that we use as a protective mechanism. Due to this change in behavior, we improve our situation and normally receive the vital love, attention and support we need. As an adult, our situation looks much better. We have evolved into independent people, capable of communicating, planning, reflecting and solving problems. However, what has essentially remained the same is our protective mechanism. If we use our strategic behavior for only a limited period of time, it can be helpful for us. But if we maintain this behavior over a long period of time, it will restrict our lives in some way. If we come to the conclusion that we feel comfortable with our behavior, then everything is fine. However, if we feel uncomfortable with it, it makes sense to change it. In general, there are a number of factors that can influence our behavior. These include the weather or climate, that means the temperature, humidity, the number of hours of sunshine or rainy days. But it can also be the place we are in, which is familiar or new to us. It can also play a role whether we live in the countryside or in the city. The time of day and the associated biorhythm can also affect us. Our mood and daily form can vary depending on whether we are an early bird or a morning grouch. Likewise, it can play a role whether we are hungry or have just eaten. The same goes for meeting friends and having a boring meeting. Based on all these factors, we can recognize that we don't always behave the same way. This also means that we can consciously change our behavior. If we take the opportunity and work on shedding our protective mechanism, we can regain our healthy, natural behavior.